Hey guys, we have great and wonderful news because the script for The Batman Part 2 has finally been delivered by Matt Reeves. So in this video, we'll talk a lot about this script update, what to expect from it, and whether the film can actually release in October 2027. We'll also discuss news about the Superman movie since some folks watched it at Warner Studios completely, and even though people are under embargo, many are kind of breaking it just from the little opinions on the film. It's clear that folks really liked it. So everyone, there's a lot of news in today's video, but before we start, don't forget to hit the like button, comment below, and subscribe for more content like this. Also, follow our other social media accounts on Instagram and Threads, where I'll keep you updated about this universe we love so much. All right, let's begin discussing this big news regarding The Batman Part 2. It's confirmed because Matt Reeves posted this photo on his social media with the script for The Batman Part 2 in front, and Matt Reeves and Mattson Tomlin blurred in the background. In the caption, Matt Reeves even wrote "partners in crime," and in parentheses, "fighters." So what does this mean? Matt Reeves delivered his script to James Gunn. What's expected now? James Gunn will read it. He might give some feedback, like he has for other DCU projects, and then the script could go back to Matt Reeves for further improvements. From what we know about how Matt Reeves writes scripts, he only hands them over to his boss when they're like 99.9% ready. What he's delivering to James Gunn might be the first pass of the script, but he revises it so much that it could be considered like a third or fourth version for others. It's not just a draft, it's a full script. As for James Gunn, I doubt he'll have many notes since this is a DC Elseworlds film. If he does have comments or notes, they'll likely be minor and shouldn't be too hard to fix within weeks. So I think the situation is that we're very close to having the script finally approved, and from there, pre-production on The Batman will truly begin. The next step is casting, which is definitely one of the most awaited moments for DC fans this year since we still have no idea what will happen in The Batman Part 2. We don't know who the villain is. There are rumors I'll discuss, but nothing confirmed. It's a good time for preparation, remembering that The Batman Part 2 is set to release in October 2027. If The Batman really starts filming in the first quarter of 26, I believe there is indeed a possibility that the film won't be delayed, meaning there's enough time to release it in October 2027, have good post-production, and make this film without any stress. So let's recap what we know about the script for The Batman Part 2. It's basically nothing. What we have are clues. We know that Penguin will be an important character because the events of the Penguin series will lead to The Batman Part 2. We know there is some kind of conspiracy behind it. In the first film, it was somewhat implied that this conspiracy could involve the villain Hush. Since in the Riddler Year 1 comic, we have a mysterious person helping the Riddler execute part of his plan to uncover some of the corruption happening in Gotham. This leads us to believe there is someone in Gotham who knows everything that's going on, and this someone could be Hush. Another hint regarding Hush is that the writer of the film, Tomlin, at one of those nerd events, mentioned entire phrases from the Batman Hush comic. This leads us to believe they are connected to what's happening in Batman Hush, and that perhaps this is indeed the long-term plan, making Hush the villain behind this conspiracy. Now, this has never been confirmed. It could be Hush, or I don't know, maybe Mr. Freeze or Scarecrow. It could be any villain at this moment except Man-Bat. Let's agree, Matt Reeves wouldn't make a fantastic villain. The fantastic villains? Forget it. Only grounded villains will be here, like Hugo Strange, Hush, Two-Face, Joker. Those are the most plausible villains, although I think there's a greater chance of Hush really being the villain. And if it is Hush, we need to understand a bit more. Although Hush is a great villain, I'm not too fond of the Batman Hush comic. I find it pretty mediocre overall. I hate that plot twist at the end where it was Thomas Elliot all along. Even good Hush comics like Heart of Hush still make me feel he's a villain that leaves much to be desired, but we can't ignore who's writing the story, Matt Reeves and Mattson Tomlin. If they want to make Hush the villain, they're going all in. I believe in their potential. I believe in their talent. Hush is a villain you can make into a good one. It's not like Hush is a villain that's trash or that he's the worst thing ever. He's totally capable of having something decent written about him. Good things can be done with him. And look, I mentioned Paul Dini, who wrote Heart of Hush, which compared to Batman Hush comic is already a tremendous evolution, but I'll dig deeper. Paul Dini wrote Mr. Freeze. He wrote Heart of Ice, one of the most memorable episodes from Batman, the animated series, that simply revitalized a villain who was mediocre before Dini came along. It was Paul Dini who turned this character into one that you sympathize with due to his villain motivation, which is his wife. I also have the feeling that most Batman fans don't like Hush, you know? I think there's a certain dislike, but there's a certain reason behind it. The reason is what I mentioned, that I don't think he can be a great villain for this movie, especially because if the villain is Hush, the movie's story might end up repeating itself since the Riddler in this film is basically Hush. So he's not my favorite for this movie. I'd rather vote for Court of Owls or Scarecrow or even the Joker. But I also believe in Matt Reeves. I'm sure he'll make the best Hush. Everyone will accept it fine. Now it's just waiting for the green light from James Gunn to start pre-production on The Batman, because this is a film that, honestly, I think there are a few films that could surpass Mask of the Phantasm and The Dark Knight, which are my two favorite Batman films. And The Batman Part 2, I believe it can be in that top 3 or top 4, right? Let's include Lego Batman. We have to respect Lego Batman and put him up there too. Respect Lego Batman. Okay, moving on to the next news involving the Superman movie. We're about a week away from the Superman film's release, and some people have already been selected to watch the full movie. There were folks who watched 30 minutes of it from other countries in the world tour, but in the United States, there were people who watched the entire film and are under embargo. In theory, they shouldn't say anything about it, but you know how the internet is. Things always leak out. Many people who watched the film started logging on Letterboxd saying they saw it and even rating it with 5 stars while mentioning they were under embargo. Then there was that influencer Soups who said he was under embargo, but you could tell that from his whole video that he loved the film. So there's an embargo, but that didn't stop many people from indirectly sharing their thoughts on the movie. Most of those who went on social media liked it. That insider viewer Anon even gave feedback on how the screening went. Obviously, he can't guarantee what audiences will think overall, but from those who attended this last session, he heard that about 4 out of 5 loved it. It's clear you can't take those opinions as a forecast that everything will be all right and everyone will love the film, because we've seen other cases where early screenings had people liking it. Journalists and influencers, but then when it came time for general audiences, they didn't like it. This has happened with DC, and I think with Marvel too, though I don't specifically recall Marvel cases. Anyway, people are enjoying it, and that's a good sign. Not a great one, but a good sign. Now, regarding box office projections for Superman's film, since there are less than weeks left, we can make a more accurate prediction now, and it's still between $120 million and $130 million. Everything really depends on what the audience and press think of the film. It's still a big mystery, right? How the box office will turn out for this film, but it still follows that forecast, right? Which is neither super optimistic nor very pessimistic. 120 million is a good opening. It's not a stunning opening, not 90 million that we had said here that 90 would be a bad opening. The pessimistic forecast was given by Warner, right? 90 million. And you can even understand, right? No, but it's Warner being pessimistic, having to work on the worst case scenario. But the rest of the industry is really pointing to more than 100 million, but also nothing above 150 million. So the first opinions of the film should happen on July 7 or 8, meaning only during the release week will we have opinions without anyone hinting, right? Between the lines that they liked it and so on. But guys, these are the DC news for today. Comment below what you think about all this. And don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.